बेचैन फिरे जागेंगे जरूर ये भाग तेरे कोई जानना ये जोश तेरा कोई जानना जुनून तेरा घूमता ना ताना ना 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 घूमता ना ताना ना घूमता ना ताना ना 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 घूमता ना ताना ना.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. How are you guys? I've missed you. We've come in a bit earlier thanks to International Women's Day. Yes, that's what we're celebrating today. Welcome to Hold That Thought. Return to Work, our special Women's Day edition. आज का हमारा शो उन खवातीन के लिए जो कि काम करती रही हैं लेकिन किसी मजबूरी, गम या खुशी के तहत काम छोड़ चुकी होती हैं और अब उनको वापसी की तरफ आना है. Hence, return to work. So we will be exploring today why they want to work. मतलब आखिर क्यों ज्वाइन करना चाहती हैं वो, what challenges they face, क्या मतलब क्या सोच के उन्होंने किया और फिर क्या challenges वो face करती हैं, what happens when they join back, क्या organization उनका साथ देती है, क्या उनके घर वाले उनका साथ देते हैं. I'm your host Sarah Mashhood, and with me today are three extremely amazing women experts who will share their wonderful insights on this bit. जो हमें join कर रहे हैं, we're excited to hear from you too. Please comment with your questions, share your experiences, अपनी personal journey के बारे में बताएं. Tell us how it was like or how it's going right now. So अब आते हैं हम अपने guests की तरफ. Let me introduce our guests. First, we have with us an influencer, networker, community builder, specialist with over 15 years of experience, curated, developed, and led transformative initiatives and interventions as well, based on change management and innovation. A gifted communicator, coach who's worked with corporate and also impacted youth and women through coaching and counseling. This one's going to be a great fit for the show today. We bring to you Azra Maqsood. Welcome, Azra. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalam, Sarah. Thank you for having me over. I'm so looking forward to this today.
Same. You have no idea. Next, we have with us somebody who has had a transformative journey in consultancy, got into training at HBL, pioneered different programs, sales Cooper, customer service, corporate grooming, which earned her a TTT certification, वो भी DC Gardner Institute से. की फिगर रह चुकी है वो खादी में across 48 stores. रोश पाकिस्तान में उन्होंने vital role play किया है, culture cascading की है, D&I sessions चलाए हैं. She is full of it. A mentor, a guide, a friend of friends. Her first meeting with us, it was just that and more. As she believes in living life to its fullest, we present to you Faryal Sethi. It's great to have you, Faryal. Assalamu alaikum. How are you doing?
I'm very well, and thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And last but not least, we have an amazing OD personality with over 18 years of experience, trained top-notch talent to their finest performance. She has a secret recipe which she is now ready, eager, and available to share with us. She's taken up innovative initiatives like e-training platforms, learning roadmaps. That's not all. She designs HR strategies, has certifications as coach and job evaluator. I don't know if you're ready for her or not, but I am. I introduce to you Samrah Adnan. Welcome to the show, Samrah. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. Thank you for asking, Samrah. Samrah, आपसे शुरू करते हैं. Tell us about yourself and tell me if in your life journey, if there was a thing like return to work.
Yes, actually, हम जितनी भी खवातीन हैं कभी ना कभी हम लोगों ने इस तरह का एक्सपीरियंस किया होगा. So in my life, once it happened, I got married and I took a break. And उसके बाद तकरीबन 6 महीने के बाद when I tried to come back to the corporate world, it was a challenge. And back then, अब तो फिर भी मुझे लगता है कि काफी situation जो है वो बेहतर हो गई है, जो employers है वो काफी empathize करने लगे हैं. But उस वक्त I faced a lot of biases, a lot of questions in the interviews. For example, अब आप कैसे manage करेंगी? अब तो आपकी शादी हो गई है, वगैरह वगैरह. So it took a long time to find a good suitable job for me, and I learned from that experience. And I made sure कि आगे जब भी मुझे कोई ऐसा candidate मिले, how to support them and how to, smoothen the path for them. So I faced it, experienced it all, and I hope कि situations अब जो है वो थोड़ी बेहतर और मज़ीद it's all of us who have to make sure कि ये चीजें बेहतर हो for other women.
Nice, thank you, Samrah. Azra, what about you? Was there a return to work situation for you?
For me, it was always, are you ever going to be returning home? So I've never taken those breaks. But ye hai कि with almost 25 years of the corporate experience, जिसके अंदर development sector भी रहा और health भी रहा. My last full-time assignment was health in a public sector hospital. So उसके बाद ये है कि I finally pulled a plug because I thought my mental and physical health were being compromised, right? It was never about going back to work. And yes, and I thought I was going to be very happy or enjoy karungi or देर से सो के उठूंगी or movies देखूंगी, whatever. But believe me, 1 month into not going to work early in the morning or later in the morning and not toiling पागलों की तरह वहां पे. So I started, I'm like, oh my God, ये मैं क्या कर रही हूँ? Why am I sitting at home? What I did was I got into a lot of consulting assignment and I got into a lot of volunteer work. मैं पहले भी करती थी, अब मैं religiously 4 hours a week volunteer work करती हूँ. But I got into a lot of other coaching, consulting, and developing some research and doing such type of things, so I actually miss not being at work full time. मेरे लिए it was the other way.
Yeah, I can totally relate to you with the kind of person I am, workaholic and all. I don't think I can stay back at home even for a second, I'd say, but yeah, you get that, right? Faryal, what would you like to share? Like, how did it work out for you?
Okay, so I have two instances to tell you. So one is not return to work. One is going to work with little kids. That, frankly speaking, it took me a very long time to get off that guilt trip. Because उस टाइम पे ये अवेयरनेस नहीं थी कि ख़वातीन के लिए ये अकोमोडेशन हो या ख़वातीन को अकोमोडेट किया जाए कि उनके बच्चे हैं और मतलब उस तरह से उनको कुछ लेवरेज दिया जाए. Later on, I realized this later on when I went to Khadi and to Rosh, Pakistan. दोनों जगहों पे there were very diversity inclusive places, workplaces. They were into gender balance and they were feminist workspaces, if you allow me to say that. Sure. So they supported working women. Their studios women were allowed to bring in their children, and later on they opened up a nursery. That is the moment I felt that I wish ये 10-12 साल पहले हो जाता तो जब मेरे बच्चे बहुत छोटे थे, and they suffered. And it takes time for a person to understand how to work out that work-life balance. You're not born with it. हमारा culture, हमारी society इसको facilitate नहीं करता, जिसकी वजह से you have to learn it each time all over again yourself. Things are different now, but back then at my time it was like this. The other area where I actually returned to work is entrepreneurship. So two things in my life have been running parallel. One is the corporate world, and the other has been my own passion and my passion for women's clothing. So I initially started this a decade and a half ago, and I ran it for a decade, and due to personal reasons, I shut it down. When I returned after more than 10 years, things had changed. I thought I'll pick up from where I had left. No, it wasn't like that. It was far from it. You see, technology changes. हमारे यहाँ तो सबसे पहले Instagram आ गया, social media आ गया. जिसकी वजह से स्पीड बदल गई, लैंग्वेज बदल गई, लोगों की परसेप्शन बदल गई, कम्युनिकेशन विद कस्टमर बदल गई, कस्टमर को किस तरह अप्रोच करना है वो बदल गया, कस्टमर कैसे चीजें देखता है वो बदल गया, ट्रेंड्स इतने स्पीड अप हो गए और इतना कुछ इतनी स्पीड से चलने लगा कि इट टुक मी अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम टू सेटल इन. I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that this is what happens. I have a solution for this now.
I'm going to ask you later on. Let's stick to the program. So those of you joining us here, please comment on the discussion. Also, if you have a journey to share, please हमारे साथ हमें बताइए कि क्या journey रही है. कोई tips और suggestions हो वो भी हमारे साथ share करते रहिएगा. More and more women are now coming out and taking up the role. And men have also changed. I mean, we got to give credit to some of them, most of them, because numerous of them are, you know, they're open to the idea of a partner who would also contribute to, let's say, dual income, or they would want them to be happy and satisfied, you know. And tech post COVID has given accessibility as well. So how would you reflect on women today and their desire to progress today? Whoever wants to take this up. Azra, would you like to? Yes, please go ahead.
So, you know, I'm going to pick this up from where Faryal left. Yes,
Sure.
Things have changed. Things have changed. When you are coming back to an organization, and I know a lot of organizations today are talking about returnership, that they would want women to come and join again. How facilitative are they? Are they only going to be saying it because it's like a buzzword and because everyone wants to be piggybacking on that? Or are they genuinely, are they empathetic enough? उनके दिल में ये दर्द है कि भाई ये एक talented बंदी है. Apart from being talented, she has this responsibility. She has so much knowledge to share. Secondly, the world has become very competitive. We are living in two-income families, inflationary costs, and cost of living adjustments, and whatever. So our organizations now adapted towards that, right? So when you talk about this change in the entire mindset, industry की तरफ से, and I'm sure you have other panelists who are going to be commenting on it, sitting in the industry themselves. So when you come back, you know, you feel like a void. There's a gap because it can never be. I stopped here, and this is where I'm starting from. I wish it was so easy. It's not. Apart from things that have changing, आज से 6 साल पहले अगर मैंने एक अंडरग्रेड किया है, मेरी वो अंडरग्रेड की जो लर्निंग, इफ आई हैव नॉट कोप्ड अप और नॉट कॉट अप, कि मेरे बच्चे बड़े हो रहे हैं या हैव अ फैमिली टू लुक आफ्टर, मैंने 6 साल में कोई पढ़ाई, कोई रिसर्च, कोई इंटरेक्शन नहीं किया है. If I go back to the industry, मेरी वो सारी academic पुराना, मेरी theory, मेरी knowledge and all is redundant. It's going to be thrown out of the window, right? So apart from the gap that I have hired for 5 years in terms of professional work environment, work dynamics भी तो change हो गई ना. 4 days का work week आ गया होता है, flexi hours, plus cutthroat इतना हो चुकी हैं चीजें कि everyone wants to say, oh my god, boss 11 बजे तक बैठा है, मैंने भी 11 बजे तक बैठना है. So different, वो सारे कल्चरल शॉक्स तो आएंगे ही आएंगे. यू हैव लॉस्ट दोस 6 years. ठीक है, कैचिंग अप ऑन टू दोस 6 years requires a lot of effort, not from only our side, also from the side of the organizations जो हमें, you know, जो क्लेम कर रहा है कि वो हमें वापस ले रहे हैं.
Samrah, would you like to add something?
Yeah, it's a really, really important area where companies launch these programs. And but it is also really important that how they are planning the whole thing. Facilitate किस तरह से कर रहे हैं, कौन से assignments दे रहे हैं. Approach ये है कि additional work है and we would have some workforce to help us with. और approach ये है कि इनको वापस embed करना है in the workforce. इनको जो आजकल की skills हैं वो सिखानी है. और साथ में obviously everything is performance driven, but उनको coaching or mentoring and all those flexibilities जो उनको चाहिए to get back to work वो provide करनी है करें. A lot of companies are doing this. It is really happy to see. It feels really happy that companies are taking charge of this area and they are launching these programs, feeling their responsibility that they have to contribute. But doing it mindfully is really important. And from the candidate side, when they want to come back, जैसे Azra ने कहा, it's very, very valid. Things change. जैसे Faryal ने भी बताया है कि things are changing at a light speed, you know. So how you are planning to come back and join the workforce? आप अपने आप को कनेक्ट कर रहे हैं, आप नेटवर्किंग कर रहे हैं, आप अपने आप को अप स्किल कर रहे हैं या नहीं कर रहे हैं, आर यू रेडी टू टेक दिस चैलेंज? इट्स गोइंग टू बी स्ट्रेसफुल ऑब्वियसली.
Yeah.
So all of these things do help, and somebody who's planning to come back, they would have to look into these areas. Number one, networking. Who do you know? Start from somewhere. Freelancing, take up some assignments, apply in these programs. Plus अप स्किल, कीप ऑन लर्निंग. आजकल लर्निंग तो कोई मसला ही नहीं है, ऑनलाइन कोर्सेज की अवेलेबिलिटी के साथ देयर इज सो मच अवेलेबल. सो स्टार्ट फ्रॉम समवेयर, एंड जैसे ही आप एक एक्टिविटी स्टार्ट करते हैं, आप उस साइकिल के अंदर आते हैं, मोमेंटम बिल्ड होता है, अपॉर्चुनिटीज जो है वो फिर आना शुरू हो जाती हैं, एंड देन देयर आर पीपल टू सपोर्ट यू and sponsor you. So look for those sponsors who are passionate to help other people.
सही. सो अपस्केल करें, नेटवर्किंग करें, फ्रीलांसिंग अब मौजूद है. दे गॉट
Sure,
स्टार्ट
of
फ्रॉम
course.
समवेयर. एक सवाल जनरल अगेन, Faryal, if you would like to add to this, how to go back to work after being a stay at home mom for 10 years? इतना बड़ा hiatus, और अब आप चाहती हैं कि आप काम पे वापस जाएं. कैसे होगा ये?
अच्छा
क्या
देखिए,
पॉसिबिलिटी है, क्या जहन में?
जी, तो पहली तो बात ये, जैसे अभी समरा ने कहा, सबसे पहले बेस तो ये है कि जो अजरा ने बताया कि वो तो स्किल्स रिडंडेंट हो जाती हैं, ऑब्सोलीट हो जाती हैं, एंड देन समरा सेड गिव अ सोल्यूशन कि आप अपने आप को अपडेटेड रखें. ये सारी चीजें जब होंगी जब यू हैव द विल to claim yourself again. Do you have that will? If you have that will, you will find the way. Then you will do what Samra has been telling you. You will do all of this. You will find the will to network. You'll get to those people. You'll automatically, your mind will be open to learning. You'll be listening more clearly. And when you connect with people, they see your interest. And who knows कहाँ से कहाँ कड़ी मिलती है और opportunity आती है, और यूं ही होता है. So the first thing for me, the first ingredient is the will. The how, it will resolve itself. But you need to know why.
अच्छा, आई एम रियली ग्लैड कि हमने ये एस्टेब्लिश कर लिया है कि चेंज आ रहा है. ये इट्स देयर, एंड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बज़वर्ड ही कुछ लोग, लेकिन चेंज इज हैपनिंग, व्हिच इज रियली गुड. समरा, अगर आप मुझे, आई विल कम बैक टू यू, अगर आप मुझे बताएं कि अगर आप 10-15 साल दूर रहें वर्कफोर्स से और अब आपने ज्वाइन करना है, तो व्हाट वुड यू लाइक टू से अबाउट इट?
I
10
think
साल का ब्रेक बहुत बड़ा होता है, बहुत लंबा अरसा होता है. आप रस्टी हो जाते हो, आप सोचते हो कि लोग क्या
बिल्कुल.
कहेंगे आपसे, लोगों के परसेप्शन
बिल्कुल.
आपके बारे में चेंज हो जाता है.
सारा तुमने तो ये लिया हुआ है ना, इसलिए तुम्हें पता है.
एक्चुअली यस, मेरे दिल की धड़कन जो ना तेज हो गई एकदम से अजरा भी. जी समरा.
Yeah. So the thing is कि सबसे पहले तो जो आपका mindset है, you have to work on that. क्योंकि once you are away, and मेरे साथ तो ये होता है कि if I am not working, सबसे पहले ये होगा कि it is part of my identity. You know, सबसे पहले आपका mindset shift होगा. You would be like, I'm not worth anything. I'm not productive. So उस पीरियड में ऐसा हो सकता है, मैं ये नहीं कह रही कि सबके साथ ही ऐसा होता होगा, लेकिन ऐसा हो सकता है कि आपको इस तरह से लगने लगे. सो सबसे पहले अपने सेल्फ वर्थ पे, अपने माइंडसेट पे, पॉजिटिविटी पे काम करना होगा, और अपने आप को मेंटली उस चीज के लिए रेडी करना होगा. 10 years is a very big period, a huge period to stay away from the corporate world. And then understand करना पड़ेगा, अपने आप को accept भी करना पड़ेगा कि you are in it. The corporate world is not easy place to be in. So उसके अंदर sustain करने के लिए कुछ skills build करनी पड़ेंगी. Stress management किस तरह से करनी है, अपने आप की, अपनी self worth के ऊपर काम करना पड़ेगा, अपनी skills को वापस से improve करना पड़ेगा, and that gives you confidence. आपका जो कॉन्फिडेंस वापस आता है वो आपकी स्किल से, व्हाट यू नो, व्हाट यू कैन कंट्रीब्यूट, आपकी कॉम्पिटेंस किन चीजों के ऊपर है, व्हाट यू नो, एंड व्हाट यू कैन हेल्प अदर्स विद. आपकी एक अपनी बहुत यूनिक एक प्रोपोजिशन होती है जो दूसरे लोग नहीं कर सकते हैं, और वो आप प्रपोज कर रहे होते हैं, वो आप प्रेजेंट कर रहे होते हैं टू द कंपनीज. और इफ यू आर प्लानिंग टू गो आउट ऑन योर ओन, तो आप क्या चीज प्रपोज कर रहे हैं, वो सोल्यूशन इतना अच्छा होना चाहिए कि वो आपको भी कॉन्फिडेंस दे, एंड इट आल्सो अट्रैक्ट्स पीपल हु नीड योर सर्विसेज, हु नीड योर टैलेंट. So that is something, and then have a circle of sponsors around you. they give you that feedback, positive feedback. They will enable you, they will tell you ये सही कर रहे हो, ये गलत कर रहे हो, इस चीज को ज्यादा करो, इस
Hmm.
चीज को कम करो. So you need your own sponsors. Find them in your family, find them in your friend circle, in your professional circle. And to me, मुझे तो लोग बहुत energy देते हैं. So I feel
Hmm.
के that connect gives me back that inspiration के ना कुछ करना है, और कुछ करना है, आगे
हाँ,
बढ़ना है, और वापस से आप कमर कस के और फिर आप उस सारे challenges के लिए अपने आप को ready कर लेते हैं.
रेडी करते हैं.
So
ठीक है, ग्रेट.
that's
अच्छा,
something that works for me.
कुछ फरियाल, इफ यू कुड हेल्प मी विद दिस, व्हाट आर द मोस्ट कॉमन मिसकंसेप्शंस अबाउट वुमेन जो कि डिसाइड करती हैं कि अब काम पे जाना चाहिए? किस तरह से हम कलेक्टिवली उन सारी मिसकंसेप्शंस को डिबंक कर सकते हैं? जैसे यार नहीं कर
Sorry,
पाएगी, कैसे
can
होगा
you
इससे?
rephrase that question? Acha,
या आई.
bias towards women, misconceptions regarding women.
अब कैसे
ओके, सो
करें?
दिस गैप, so पहले तो ये गैप कि ये बड़े अरसे बाद आ रही हैं, अब तो इनका घर है, इनके बच्चे हैं. देखिए मैं आपको बताऊं, सबसे पहले तो ये होता है शी इज सिंगल, शी कैन अप्लाई हरसेल्फ, शी विल बी एबल टू गिव हर टाइम. ओ शी इज मैरिड,
यस.
तो शी इज हाफ गॉन. शी इज अ मदर, शी इज गॉट किड्स, गॉन, कंप्लीटली गॉन.
गॉन फॉर गुड.
ये
या.
ये बायस है जनरली इंडस्ट्री में, ये बायस जनरली है कॉर्पोरेट वर्ल्ड में, और मोस्ट वुमेन मीट इट. ठीक है. नाउ companies that by policy overcome this, and I'll tell you, I was with Roche Pakistan. It's a global company, and unki policies are so ingrained that you have no choice but to make that it's part of their culture. So they have to maintain a certain gender balance ratio, right? Gender population ratio.
Of
And
course.
then they have to show how many people from different challenging environments, backgrounds did they incorporate, and how they made success stories out of them. So when you embed this in your company policy, in your company mindset, you're living it. तो खुद ही चैनल्स खुलेंगे उन लोगों के लिए. बट ये बहुत बायस है इसका कि खवातीन का जनरली कि डोमेस्टिकेट कर दिया गया है. मतलब मेंटली उनको इस तरह देखा जाता है कि यार ये डोमेस्टिक है. नहीं, आपको नहीं पता, आप खातून है, आप नहीं समझ सकती इस बात को. बट आई थिंक काफी ओवरकम हो रहा है अब. बहुत, एज एवरीबडी सेड, कि चेंजेस आ रहे हैं, काफी कुछ ओवरकम हो रहा है. And progressive companies are really updating themselves, and they are looking towards diversity, and they're looking towards gender balance in their among their employees.
Good. Azra, would you like to add something here?
एक तो ये है, I'm going to pass on this message to Hafsa Shamsi, who's a great friend of mine, the MD of Roche, and I'm sure she's going to be very happy to hear this. And वाकई के क्या company policies के क्या. Sarah, आज सुबह से I'd been pretty busy. मेरे 2 already sessions थे, and I was talking in both the organizations. I was talking about male allyship, right? And what was heartening is, in today's sessions, they were like 60 minutes के sessions मैंने रखे हुए थे, right? दोनों जगह पे. The room was so balanced, but in fact, Lipton pe to there were more men than women. So that felt really heartening. But like Faryal here said, कि ये कुछ चीजें governance level पे और collective structure level पे organization की policies का part होनी चाहिए और ingrained होनी चाहिए. वहां पे ये समझ आना ही नहीं चाहिए कि बाबा इसके बेसिस पे एक जेंडर डिफरेंशिएशनिंग हो रही है या इसके बेसिस के ऊपर. बिकॉज ऑनेस्टली स्पीकिंग, वुमेन, इफ यू नोटिस, स्पेशली जो रिटर्न टू वर्क कर रही होती है, उनके अलावा भी जो वुमेन कंसिस्टेंटली ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस में हैं, आप ये देखो ऊपर तक कितनी पहुंचती हैं, टॉप लीडरशिप में कितनी आती है, सी स्वीट में कितनी आती है, राइट? दैट इज उसका सबसे बड़ा जो मुझे लगता है फॉलबैक, जो मैंने हमेशा समझा है, सोचा है, खवातीन के साथ भी काम किया, मर्दों के साथ बहुत काम किया है, इज द लाइकेबिलिटी पेनल्टी. ठीक है? बिकॉज नॉर्मली जनरली एज अ जेंडर वी आर लाइक्ड, तो वो पेनल्टी होती है हमारे ऊपर कि यार ये तो अच्छी है. तो जब ये इतनी अच्छी है तो ये अच्छी सिर्फ इसलिए कि बिकॉज शी इज अ वुमन, इसलिए अच्छी नहीं है कि इसको काम आता है, टेक्निकली साउंड है, यू नो, शी इज किक्ड एस एंड बिन विद शी इज, राइट? But because if she's a little liberal, if she's more, she looks at things from a feministic lens, apart from being a woman also. And if she's a go-getter, फिर वो कैसे brand हो जाती है? Oh my God, she's a man-eater. this woman has a killer attitude, this is, there is no compassion just because we're tough. And the same things, when you go to men, they become ambitious, leader like, career oriented. हमें ये वाले सारे ब्लॉकेड्स भी बड़े फेस करने पड़ते हैं, जो कि लाइकेबिलिटी पेनल्टी है हमारे लिए. Just because you like us, please don't penalize us. So this is a problem that we have when we are talking about being competitive. और like फरियाल just said कि कंपनीज अब जो इतनी प्रोग्रेसिव इस तरह हो रही हैं, उन्होंने पॉजिटिव एलाइशिप क्रिएट की हैं. सही है. Organizations need to consciously create those positive allyships, especially male allyships within the corporate sector.
Azra, आपने जना मतलब
Sarah, can I
जी
just
फरियाल.
add to what Azra
Yes,
has
please.
just said? Azra, you said something so well spoken, कितना अच्छा explain किया. And I'll add to this in the general term जो generally लोग use करते हैं, उनको समझ आती है. As you said, male allyship. I think जो लोगों को बहुत ज़्यादा समझ में आता है वो feminist men. You know what I mean? Feminism. और ये
There you
चीज
go.
मैंने
You said it.
खादी एंड रॉश, या खादी एंड रॉश दोनों में देखी थी. एंड उसमें in Roche there was one of these heads of department at a very crucial time. She had to go into child delivery. I cannot begin to tell you that the CEO से लेके जितने बाकी लोग थे, they were so updated with what's happening with her now. उनका डिलीवरी कितने बजे है, हो गई, अब वो घर आ गई, उनके बच्चे के साथ ये मसले से फेस हो रहे हैं. And she went on to becoming the top performer. Why?
Wow.
Not only did she have the will, वो अकेले will का क्या करती अगर सपोर्ट नहीं होता.
Exactly.
अगर as you said कि गवर्नेंस में नहीं होता कंपनी के, तो वहां there was no other way. वहां everybody was a feminist, and if you weren't a feminist, there was no place for you there.
Good, very good.
अच्छा, तो इससे मैं डिराइव करती हूँ एक सवाल. ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस एनकरेज कैसे करती हैं खवातीन को कि वो ब्रेक लें, कि उन्हें झूठ ना बोलना पड़े? क्या ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की पॉलिसी होती है, किस तरह के इदारे मतलब क्या करते हैं, बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस क्या होती है? सो लाइक इफ आई एम वर्किंग समवेयर एंड इफ आई रिटर्न आई वाज वर्किंग समवेयर एंड इफ आई डिसाइड टू रिटर्न टू वर्क, क्या लीव्स होंगी मुझे, कुछ पेड लीव्स होंगी? ऑर्गेनाइजेशन कैसे मुझे वेलकम करेगी? क्या कर सकते हैं वो ऐसा मुझे वेलकम करने के लिए वापस? हाउ कैन दे सपोर्ट एट एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल लेवल? Samrah, if you could.
So I touched upon this Abhi, in the previous question as well, that when companies launch these programs, they have to be very well thought out. Every step should be planned in a way कि जो वापस आ रही हैं खवातीन, उनको आप किस तरह से embed कर रहे हैं. Do you have the training programs for them? Do you have somebody, those line managers who want to contribute to their development? जो सिर्फ उस लेंस से ना देख रहे हो कि ये क्या हमें दे सकती हैं, बट उनका एक पैशन और उनका एक जो प्राइमरी मोटिव वो ये हो कि हाउ वी कैन embed them in the workforce. हम इनको किस तरीके से इनेबल कर सकते हैं, इनकी वो स्किल्स जो इनके अंदर हैं उनको मजीद पॉलिश किस तरह से कर सकते हैं. तो दोज उन लाइन मैनेजर्स के साथ उनको आप अटैच करें, वो प्रोग्राम्स उनको दें, प्रोजेक्ट्स इस तरीके के दें. And then flexibility. Obviously, these women are coming, and किसी वजह से उन्होंने break लिया. Now they are ready to come back, but उनके अभी current भी कोई challenges हो सकते हैं. They might be mothers, or they are giving care to somebody at home, or there could be other challenges. So, are you ready as a company to provide them that flexibility? कि वो जल्दी चले जाएं या work from home. And आजकल तो after COVID and with the technological solutions that we have, it's so easy to facilitate everyone, not only women but men too, but especially because we are talking about women returnship. So the solutions are so many. It's only that.
Yeah. Sorry, please go on.
Yeah, it's only that do you have the will as an organization? Aapki commitment utni strong as cheese say, yeah, it's just you're doing because every other company is doing that, or you actually mean it and you want to do it. And obviously uska return bhi aata hai. Just Faryal talked about Khadi. I also happen to work at Khadi. And believe me, I used to bring my baby to work. I have attended meetings with him in my lap. So and there was no eyebrow that was raised कि ये क्यों इस तरह से कर रही हैं.
यही मेरा
तो
सवाल था कि आपने भी ब्रेक ली, राइट, और आप भी वापस आए। आपके लिए बहुत कुछ किया, वेलकम किया आपको, कुछ प्रोसेसेस थे, कुछ ऐसी चीज थी जो नहीं हुई या आप चाहती थी कि ये भी ऐड होना चाहिए फॉर दोज ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हु आर लिसनिंग टू अस टुडे और द क्लाइंट्स, कुछ ऐसा जो वाज मिसिंग दैट कुड हैव बीन देयर?
अच्छा, एट दैट टाइम तो जो मेरा एक अनइंटेंशनल ब्रेक आ गया था शुरू में, उसमें जब मुझे
हम्म।
जॉब मिली, उस वक्त मेरी ऐसी कोई रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज नहीं थी। आई वॉजंट अ मदर, और तो मेरे लिए इजी था। आई गेव ऑल माई टाइम टू द न्यू जॉब एंड एवरीथिंग एंड ट्राइड टू प्रूव माई सेल्फ. But I can talk about the time when I had a baby. It was a very special time because my baby is a precious baby, and he came into our life through IVF. The whole company celebrated with me. They pampered me throughout the pregnancy. They knew कि समरा अब उस तरीके से काम नहीं कर पाएगी. My team took so much of responsibility. They took back, the responsibilities that I had, and they started doing that stuff. My line manager was so supportive. Sometimes I would just go and, I would use his couch and I would sleep on his couch. And wo bichare, जो है, he was locked out of his room because I was using his room. So in every way, they were so accommodating. When I came back, obviously चीजें आगे बढ़ चुकी थी, and काफी सारे projects start हो चुके थे. So they वापस gradually they involved me in everything, and even at that time they understood कि okay, समरा का भी baby छोटा है, and also उससे इतना demanding हम नहीं हो सकते. From the top leadership to everyone, they were very accommodating, and I will be eternally thankful to the management of Khadi because I received that kind of warmth throughout my pregnancy. I was pampered, I was fed, and then once I was back, then again they pampered me, they accommodated me, and gradually फिर I became part of everything. And जिस space के ऊपर मैं used to थी काम करने के, and they were also used to कि समरा के space पे काम कर सकती है, तो वो भी
हम्म।
gradually फिर वो सारा वो एकदम से नहीं हुआ कि I came in and हर तरफ से pressure आ जाए कि ये भी है, ये भी है, ये भी है. So gradually I was eased into the role again. And I think it's the one of the best practices. There should be policies. अभी आज ही I was talking to my team कि अब maternity हमारे यहाँ जब 6 months की हो गई है, तो once women come back, what we can do, maybe we can put it in writing. We can develop a policy कि हम क्या क्या चीज कर सकते हैं, so that we can facilitate them to again onboard them, again ease them into the role, and ताकि जो stress है वो हर तरफ से आपका ना बढ़ जाए. मैं भी ये चीज नहीं समझती थी when I was not a mother. मुझे नहीं पता था कि मदर्स के लिए वो एक पूरा एक जो दिमाग होता है वो आधा जो है अपने बच्चे के साथ ही होता है. हर wherever they are, रिमोटली भी अगर आपका बच्चा कहीं और पे भी है तो आपका एक दिमाग का एक हिस्सा वही फंक्शन कर रहा होता है. तो ड्यूरिंग दैट टाइम अगर आप स्ट्रेस डाल दें बंदे पर, और तो फिर उसमें तो वो दे कांट परफॉर्म. एंड the job of the company is to enable their people how they can perform at their fullest. So provide them that kind of nurturing environment, that kind of confidence that you can do it. We understand what you are going through, and we're there. So that is really important.
Wow, nice, good answer. Faryal, would you like to add something to it, or
Yeah,
do you
just
think Samra's done it?
yeah, Samra's done it. She's definitely,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
especially about postpartum, I think this is great, the best we've heard so far. Two things. The पहले एक बात हुई थी कि women who are returning to work, what can they do to facilitate their own journey? I think एक तो recruiters से get in touch with recruiters and be interested in understanding कि recruiters आपको ये बताएं कि how you can get back, क्या changes आ गए हैं. So good recruiting companies, they'll be able to kind of coach you, like अगर आप मिलना चाहे घंटा आधा जो भी होगा मीटिंग में, तो you should be looking for what has changed. Try to understand what has changed, what are the changes that have come technologically, probably in systems, what kind of people are being hired now, what kind of talent they're looking for, right? Another question here I was reading as somebody has written, the companies these days are more prone towards hiring young people.
Yes,
And
that's the
where
thing.
do the older ones go? So, okay, that may be the trend generally, but believe me, you put a value to yourself.
Yeah.
If you're going to let someone else put a value to you, you will never be valued.
True.
So you don't allow, it doesn't matter what the trends are, where the world is tipping, it does not matter. You say, I'm obsolete, you're dead, you're finished. You keep yourself relevant. As Samra said, update अपने अब देखिए अब तो इतना कुछ अवेलेबल है, आप जाके देखिए ऑनलाइन, अदरवाइज वर्कशॉप्स आप क्या कर सकते हैं, get in touch with recruiters, get yourself a mentor. There will be so many people in your family friends, your senior friends, other people who you know. People love it. People love talking, and people like expressing. So, you'll have an opportunity. Get yourself mentored and get in there. If you have the will, you'll find the way. Don't let other people put a value to you. You build your value. You know
Yeah.
your worth.
I knew this panel was very special, and I'm loving it right now. I'm. Oh, Azra, आप कुछ ऐड करना चाहेंगे?
I think Faryal and Samra have summed it up so well, taking that journey from अच्छा, हमारे जमाने में तो I'm much older than you guys are, तो हमारे जमाने में तो taking a baby to work, जहाँ पे डे केयर्स का कोई कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं होता था. So my kid actually grew up at my workplace. उसको 12 साल तक ये पता ही नहीं था घर होता क्या है. And I sort of led the activity of making this habit something normal. I normalized that thing. Or daycares वगैरह का concept. My kid is 28 now, mashallah, right? So you can
Yeah.
imagine, because I knew घर पे nannies के साथ, mates के साथ वो रहेगी ना, तो वो मेरा पीस ऑफ माइंड नहीं होगा. यहाँ वो कुछ भी करेगी, एटलीस्ट आई नो डायपर चेंज हो रहा है, डायरिया हो रहा है, दांत उसके आ रहे हैं, सो एटलीस्ट आई कैन रन देयर एंड सी हर विद द नैनी, राइट? सो बट नाउ ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस, but one thing I wanted to just take lead from what Samra was saying, yaar, we are not talking about returnship just as a buzzword. Organizations need to understand कि if they want to do it, फिर वो 100% ingenuity के साथ उन औरतों को वापस, या even men ब्रेक ले लेते हैं. हमारे यहाँ नहीं लेते, but career breaks तो men लेते हैं ना वेस्ट वर्ल्ड में भी, right?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, definitely.
They should not pick it up. जैसे सारी जिंदगी में हमारी बुक्स के अंदर बज़वर्ड्स होते हैं ना. आज का बज़वर्ड CSR है, उसके बाद का बज़वर्ड हो गया सस्टेनेबिलिटी, उसके बाद का बज़वर्ड हो गया क्लाइमेट फाइनेंस, क्लाइमेट रेजिलियंस, अब एक नया बज़वर्ड आ गया रिटर्नशिप. आर ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस इन जेन्युइनली, इसलिए तो नहीं उन्हें कि कोई अवार्ड उठाना है DEI का, जिसके चक्कर में वो रिटर्नरशिप के ऊपर इतना इन्वेस्ट करें, but are they actually truly, do they believe in the retainership inside, in sincerity, ingenuity के साथ क्या वो उनको लेके आ रहे हैं एम्प्लॉइज को, and are they making them feel a part of the organization? This is very important. just एक buzzword के तौर पे अगर आपने इसको प्रमोट करना है, oh my god, we are one of those organizations जो returnship पे जा रहे हैं और आप awards ले रहे हैं DEI की, और bloody hell, but facilitative नहीं है, and then it doesn't work. I'm sorry, this is bad brand reputation for the organization itself. Do not do that. If you're not ready to accommodate, facilitate, and convert that person's experience into what she or he is looking for, please don't go ahead and do it. Wait another 10 years. When you think everyone is doing it and you're ready to do it, don't do it only because you're saying you want to do it.
Perfect. Wow. Acha, how can companies conduct effective training for the employees, both men and women, to prepare and support a colleague's return from the parental leave, या कोई भी जैसे caretaker sort, कोई extended leave? How would you sensitize your team on it?
I think Samra के मामले में तो team over sensitized थी,
Oh,
because of the
Samra का exceptional case है.
Khadi is exceptional.
True.
Khadi
I
is
will second that.
And so is Rosh.
Okay, so I want to say something here, if I may.
Please. Yes, please.
So as Azra said, कि ये आप सिर्फ फिट इन करने के लिए मत करें, अवार्ड लेने के लिए मत करें. So let's go a step ahead, back. Why do you want to do this? Why do you want a returnship program? Why do you want to get into this at all? पहले तो अगर ये समझ में आती है ना, इसका जवाब आपके पास है ऑथेंटिक, तो फिर आपका रिटर्नशिप सक्सेसफुल होगा और फिर आपकी कंपनी वो बनेगी जो टॉप परफॉर्मिंग कंपनीज में से होगी. द क्वेश्चन इज व्हाई रिटर्नशिप? व्हाई डू यू नीड इट? एंड द आंसर, Azra, can I request you to answer this? Because I know the answer. I'd like to, because आपका experience बहुत diverse.
Because I want to stand out with another feather in my cap and get another big award from the governor house and the PM house and whatever the bloody hell. Sorry. Okay. Abhi, there are only a few companies who've already actually gotten into it, जिसकी वजह से आप कोई longitudinal study करके उसका social impact या economic impact भी नहीं create कर सकते, right? But you've picked it up as a buzzword only. आपके कोई लोग उसके लिए trained नहीं है कि returnship में it's not only having a baby and coming back, but genuinely यार एक person वापस आ रहा है तो how is our team, HR या हमारा comms, benefits, rewards वाले, how should they be sensitized to accommodate people, right? उसको अजीब से देख रहे हैं अगर वो लंच लेके आ रही है बेचारी अपने उधर टाइप ऑफ थिंग,
उसको एक्सक्लूड कर रहे हैं चीजों से.
एग्जैक्टली. और ये कहना कि अच्छा भाई हर वक्त ये तो फोन पे ये परेशान होगी कि इसका बच्चा आज क्या कर रहा है, इसकी अम्मी आज क्या कर रही है, टाइप ऑफ थिंग, राइट? आपकी सेंसिटाइजेशन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है और वो सेंसिटाइजेशन ट्रेनिंग अभी तक आई एम नॉट श्योर आई हैव सीन एनीवेयर हैपनिंग. आई वेंट टू अनदर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, आई डोंट वांट टू नेम इट. 10,000 में से सिर्फ 700 खवातीन थी जिनके पास अभी तक हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस नहीं है खवातीन के लिए. आई डोंट वांट टू नेम दैट, ठीक है? बट सो व्हाट, सही है, इतनी तो रूडिमेंट्री है हम, तुम और मैं. वी आर लकी. फरियाल, समरा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन लाइक रोड्स एंड गाड़ीज, लिप्टन्स एंड यूनिलीवर्स, पीएनजीज एंड रैकेट, दैट इज नॉट पाकिस्तान. दैट इज नॉट पाकिस्तान, राइट? बहुत सारी लोकल ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं जिनमें इस तरह की जो करंट एम्प्लॉइज हैं उनकी फैसिलिटेशन और अकोमोडेशन ही नहीं है, तो हम रिटर्नशिप की क्या बात कर रहे हैं उनके साथ. सॉरी फॉर साउंडिंग दिस pessimistic.
No, but this is true. This is the harsh reality of life of Pakistan for now when it comes to workplaces.
कोई किसी की sensitization और training नहीं है for people to accept people who are coming back to work. There is nothing formal as far as I know.
हाँ, तो मेरा सवाल ये कि हम सेंसिटाइज कैसे करें, क्या तरीके हैं, क्योंकि इदारों को नहीं पता और पता भी है तो उन्हें करना नहीं है. और आपने वैसे ही बता दिया अवार्ड्स के सिलसिले में, तो किस तरीके से हम एम्प्लॉइज को ट्रेन कर सकते हैं कि भाई this person is now coming back and this is what you need to take care of, be sensitive about, take care. अगर उसके बारे में कुछ ideas दे सकते हैं तो. Samrah, would you like to add something?
Yeah, I can. Actually, in my experience, whenever it comes to such topics, when you talk to people in your organization about these things, they are very receptive. हाँ, वैसे चलते चलते वो मजाक में हो जाता है, लेग पुलिंग हो जाती है कि भाई वाई विमेंस डे, आप लोग तो आज जो है पार्टी कर रही हैं एक्सेट्रा, बट इंटरनली दे नो that how important it is. So once when you go through, take them through these trainings and you talk to them, because they also see these things. ना आज ही मेरी बात हो रही थी in my organization, they were talking about their sister's experience, their wife's experience, that what happened when they took a break, when they went for further studies, came back, फिर क्या हुआ. So they all are witness कि जो है वो कितना मुश्किल होता है खवातीन के लिए हर जगह अपने आप को प्रूव करना, घर पे भी, यहाँ पे भी, with responsibilities, and somehow we also put a lot of pressure on ourselves. We don't want to fail in any of the areas, be it as a mother, as a professional, or as a wife, as a bahu, as a sister. We want to excel in all of these roles, right? So we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. So they are seeing this, they are observing this. So when you talk to them, वो आपको आगे से 10 स्टोरीज और बता देंगे. एंड एक्चुअली इट हैपेंड कि लास्ट ईयर हमने कुछ कोर्सेज किए थे बिकॉज द थीम वाज ब्रेक द बायस. तो हमने बायस, जो जनरल बायस होते हैं टुवर्ड्स खवातीन, हमने उसके ऊपर ट्रेनिंग्स करवाई थी, अवेयरनेस सेशन कराए थे थ्रू अ ट्रेनर. And to my surprise, even I had some of the biases. I thought I don't have those, but when you reflect, you realize कि हाँ ये मेरे भी हैं, and I should get rid of these biases. So when you talk to them and you give them real life experience, they can totally relate to it because they are seeing it around them. तो बी इट कुछ जो खवातीन है आपके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में या मर्द हजरात हैं दोनों दे कैन रिलेट एंड इट्स जस्ट के हाउ इफेक्टिवली यू आर कम्युनिकेटिंग दीज थिंग्स people in my experience are receptive. They empathize with the difficulties that we feel, and once they are informed, well informed, and they want to do better in these areas, it's our responsibility. खवातीन की भी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि हम किस तरीके से अपना जो एजेंडा है उसको चैंपियन करते हैं. हम भी तो चुप होके बैठ जाते हैं. वी ऑल्सो नीड टू स्पीक अप. वी ऑल्सो हैव टू, अगर आपका मेल बॉस है, यू हैव टू टेक देम through your challenges, make them realize, speak up for your rights, speak up about things जो होने चाहिए ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में, जो सपोर्ट आपको चाहिए परफॉर्म करने के लिए, बिकॉज अल्टीमेटली हर एक का जो पर्पस है वो ये दैट वी कंट्रीब्यूट, वी परफॉर्म वेल एंड कंट्रीब्यूट टू द सक्सेस ऑफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. तो वो करने के लिए, जो उसको इनेबल करने के लिए हमें जो भी सपोर्ट चाहिए, वी नीड टू टॉक अबाउट इट. And when the company is talking about it, it should be effective. It should be through a proper trainer, proper material, and all of these things are available. There are portals, there are materials available. And जब आप उन चीजों को communicate करते हैं, people get surprised, like me, like I got surprised कि even I had certain biases. जो बहुत subconscious में आपके होते हैं और आप उसको अप्लाई कर रहे होते हैं, और once it comes to your consciousness, आप फिर उसको जो एड्रेस करते हैं और मिनिमाइज करने की फिर कोशिश करते हैं.
So we have very little time left. Faryal, would you like to add something? Because I don't want to lose out on this question's answer.
Okay, so I want to say that I think everything is a trickle-down effect. For me, अगर आप एक फैमिली में देख लें कि जो लीडर है वो टोन सेट करता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल घर में कोई दादा सीनियर हैं या वालिद हैं या दादी हैं, जो भी रोल है वो टोन सेट करता है. इसी तरह कंपनीज में, इसी तरह सोसाइटीज में, इसी तरह कंट्रीज में. ठीक है, इट्स अ स्मॉल सिस्टम दैट बिकम्स बिग. सो कंपनी का जो लीडर है उसका अपना माइंडसेट क्या है? हाउ अकोमोडेटिंग इज ही? Does he value this diversity? Why does he want to allow people to return? You see, when you do good, your business does good. Doing good is good for the business. And everybody is unique, as one of the two speakers, one of them mentioned. Everybody is unique. And unki uniqueness, bring it out. Give them an opportunity. You see, and statistics have shown that people who've returned to work after a break have been one of the most dedicated, hardworking, loyal workers. Do you want to miss out on that? And also, एक और चीज मेरे जहन में आ रही थी कि returnship programs जो कंपनी के पास हैं. So what if companies start with contractual basis? Train them, mentor them on a 4-week, 6-week returnship, make pools, divide them into pools. People you want to hire right now, people you want to keep in your pool, and hire them contractually. So if somebody is away on a leave, you can give this person the opportunity to fill in their space. They develop their own selves and you develop them. And later on, who knows, someday they're going to be heading one of your departments. Do you want to miss out on people power? So why do you want returnship? People power. Do you want to miss out? No, you don't want to.
Wow. अच्छा, so एक question हमने देखा है यहाँ पे, which is about work-life balance when it comes to, okay, so you're married and then you have kids. अब आप return भी कर चुके हैं काम पे, आप मैनेज कैसे करते हैं ये सारी चीजें? How do you manage that? और इससे मैंने एक सवाल बनाया था कि I'm a working mom and I have in-laws back at home, I have kids back at home, और मेरी इस तरीके से इन सब लोगों को मुझसे expectations हैं, मेरी हैं, बच्चों की हैं, बाकी सब लोग की हैं. क्या टिप्स देंगे इंश्योर करने के लिए कि these people stay at ease? क्योंकि मेजर फोमो होता है कि आप अपने बेबी के फर्स्ट स्टेप्स नहीं एक्सपीरियंस कर सके because you were at work. या आप कोई शादी का इवेंट नहीं अटेंड कर सके बिकॉज अगेन यू वर एट वर्क एंड यू गोना लिसन टू इट ऑल थ्रू आउट, यू नो, आगे आगे जाके कभी भी ताना पड़ जाएगा। तो अब what happens then? ये घर पे कैसे लोगों को हम खुश रखें कि भाई काम तो पहुंच गए, काम पे चल रहा है महीना 2 महीना, what happens then? समरा, आप मुस्कुरा रही हैं, आप बताएं।
So what I do is I realized very early on that I have to miss out on few things in order to enjoy few things. अगर मेरा passion है कि मुझे काम करना है और मुझे अपना career बनाना है, I will be missing out on other things. When it comes to balancing the responsibilities, what I have done is that I ask for help. I ask more from my husband, that you would have to help me in this thing, you would have to support me. अगर मुझे कहीं लग रहा होता है, क्योंकि एक हमारी upbringing इस तरह से होती है कि it does not come to men naturally, then you have to have a talk with them. I had a very serious talk with him before marrying him. I was like, do you realize कि मेरा ये aim है, मुझे तो ये करना है. So do you know, are you okay with it? ऐसा नहीं हो कि आगे जाके you're like कि भाई घर बैठो and focus on बच्चे और घर and all. So I set the expectations very early on. Then also you talk to the people around you, in your ससुराल, in your family. जब आप उनको बताते हैं कि what do you do, how you're making an impact, and आपको भी help चाहिए. So I ask for help. कि भाई आप मेरे सपोर्टर हैं, आप मेरे स्पॉन्सर हैं, you need to help me in this area, and people do help you then. So number one, set the expectations right. Number two, ask for help, and people are generally willing to help and contribute in your success. So these are two tips from that I've applied and that worked for me to an extent. And also realizing that you are going to miss out. There is nothing as, you know, having it all. ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता. So you would have to miss out on few things and you would have to enjoy other things.
Samra, you've wonderfully put it, and I can relate to this, and I can relate to this because this is exactly what I do. I prepare my husband, you know, the support that I have, amazing, alhamdulillah, and I let him know in advance, okay, this is how it's going to be like. Are you ready for it? So beautifully said. Faryal, what would you like to say?
Okay, so I'd like to say when you go home, please go home. Go home. And then don't be on the phone for work. And I think there should be clarity, as she said, set the expectations right. Set those expectations at work too. When you're setting them at home, set them at work too. Your workplace must know, your colleagues must know that now it's her time with her family. I cannot write to her. I cannot message her at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 p.m. That's, first of all, that's outrageous. First of all, it's bad manners. It's against ethics. And secondly, she's given herself till whatever time, official time it was, let her go home. And you too go home. Men, women, everybody goes home to their families. Whether they're married, they're single, they have a social life, they have parents, siblings, please go home.
Oh, Azra, would you like to say anything here?
कैसे
हम अपने घर वालों से बचें?
ओ भाई, वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस की जब हम बात करते हैं ना, ऑनेस्टली हम सबों को फिक्र किसकी होती है? शौहर की, बच्चों की, अम्मी अब्बा की, सास ससुर की. Where are we in all of this? Where is my me time? Okay, please. I don't want that to be sacrificed. I'm sorry. Maybe I've come to that stage in my life and career and my age where I have now suddenly realized, yeah, maybe because of some jolts I got, which were like poor medical conditions and some interventions that I had to undergo. I got a jolt from God, maybe. You know, oh, hello, बहुत काम कर लिया पागलों की तरह, बहुत हो गया, बच्चे बहुत हो गए, अम्मियां बहुत हो गए, सास ससुर और अम्मी अब्बा. Where is your time? Are you exercising enough? Are you taking care of your health? मतलब अगर मैं ही कॉम्प्रोमाइज हो जाऊंगी, the moment, मतलब think of it this way, फरियाल, अगर आपकी अम्मी, सॉरी सारा, अगर आपकी अम्मी बीमार हो जाती थी, आपका पूरे घर का सिस्टम डिरेल हो जाता था. करेक्ट? मम्मी 2 दिन बेड पे होती थी, यू डोंट नो कपड़े यूनिफॉर्म हुए कहाँ रखे हुए, आपको ये नहीं पता है कि ब्रेड घर में आएगी कि नहीं आएगी, आपको ये नहीं पता who's feeding the dog. So imagine if you are unable to look after yourself, as in your health, your energy, I'm sorry, आपके पूरे घर का सिस्टम डिरेल हो जाता है. So take a step back and also prepare your family. It's not just the home, it's not just the kid, it's not just my in-laws and my parents, it's myself also. I have to take care of myself in order to take care of you guys. So
Mm.
that, to me, that is the prime work life balance, which I learned much later in life, but at least I learned it.
Wow. This was very good. Acha, we have a few comments here and questions as well. We're just gonna take them from the audience. And if you could have somebody online, so please, can you show the questions if we have any so that we can ask? What about if we've done this? We've already covered this. Thank you, Atir. Oh, thank you for bringing people in front of the people. Thank you, Rehan. Acha, it's Women's Day. Do we have questions? No, no. Can the companies offer a flexible policy between work at home and work on place? Or how much does the behavior of working women reinforced or nullified the myths? Do you guys follow the questions? I don't know though.
What myths?
Actually, we have a yeah,
It's an unclear
we've done
question.
this. Yeah,
Age
management likes to
barrier.
invest in young people. How do you go through this age barrier? We're gonna touch upon this later because we have very little time left. I'm gonna
No,
ask one last
but
question.
I think Faryal already covered this when she said, "Okay, invest,
Yes, yes,
believe in
this
yourself,
is
and
taken.
you know you're
Yeah,
right."
yeah, yeah. In detail, we're gonna share this in some
Yeah.
other show. Do we have Hina coming? We're gonna get another guest on the show. We have with us Hina Qureshi, and she would like to share. Hi, Hina. How are you? Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. It's so good to hear everybody's stories. I've been here for an hour, and I feel like each of you are echoing back something or the other that I've also personally witnessed. So thank you for having me.
Hina, would you please introduce yourself?
Yes, so I'm also somebody who decided to, so Hina Qureshi, obviously, but also somebody who decided to very early on, before I got married, actually, I'll just jump straight into it, Sarah. Okay, I wanted to be there to take care of my kid. I did not, like, I had this thing, okay, if my son is crying, then I want to be the one that he comes to and not a maid. And I didn't want to have the daycare thing happening. So I always thought that I would want to raise my child. But I also had this in my mind that I wanted to earn my own income and have my own extra money. So, that after the baby came in, Zaire, that work did take a back seat. And I had like this big FOMO moment as well, where all of my school friends were, doing so well in their corporate jobs. They were getting so many facilities from their office. उनके गाड़ी driver उनको मिल रहे थे. Now my friends are mashallah heads of departments because they've managed to work for the last 2 decades or so. So for me, that was a FOMO moment as well. And then I had made this very difficult choice to kind of parent full time, but also having the need for independence and wanting to work. तो वो सारा एक mix था, which I struggled with, I think. So for the first 2 years, I just kind of did stuff with my child, and I did this mother toddler program, and then 2 years later, I started with a little Facebook post. It just said, "My son and I go to the park every Monday. Does anybody want to join?" So about 5 women joined in that week, that Monday. 12 mothers joined in the week after that, and by the end of the 2 years, I had over 1,000 women who were doing play dates and these things with me. तो उसके बाद I thought कि education was anyway a passion for me. I feel like that is the solution to our country's problems, really. So I was already an educator before I got married as well. So, with all of it, it just came together, and then I started this little organization called Circle of Care. So that's the introduction. Sorry for the very long one, Sarah.
It's all
So
right.
that's the introduction. So I run a little organization called Circle of Care. मुझे वो support नहीं मिला जो समरा आपको मिला of being pampered during your pregnancy and then later on as well. Neither did I have an organization or a management which would help. I put my kid to bed at 8. I'd wake up at 12 again. I'd work till 4. I'd go back to sleep, wake up at 8, send my kid to school, go back to sleep, wake up at 1. तो मैंने तो खुद ही किया जो भी किया, and now it's been 10 years. He's mashallah 10. तो वो फोमो मोमेंट तो बहुत आती जाती रहती है कि I could have been the head of a department, or I could have had a very good corporate career right now. But alhamdulillah, Circle of Care, after COVID, we went international. I have students coming from all over. I have 20,000 plus followers and things. So it's been a journey, and I can echo back each of the things that each of you have said. And it is a challenge. It is a lot of people are asking, corporate policies, etc. Nahi hai mindset. Abhi bhi. They will ask if you want to go back to corporate. They will just ask, are you single? Are you not? How will you manage? Acha, and then they'll make you a very low offer. Doesn't matter. You've been working 20 plus years. They'll make you a low offer. They'll expect to not give that flexibility. वो है अभी तक. So it's great what you girls are doing also. Girls, all of us are doing to bring that change in the corporate field as well.
Thank you so much, Hina. We should have taken you at start, and then we should have gone with all the questions. Any last messages from you guys on International Women's Day? A generic message. Faryal, we'll start with you.
Okay, so as I said, you establish your own value, you establish your own worth. So you start off by saying, I am valuable, not saying, knowing that I am valuable. Please be patient with yourself. And I do understand that many bhi experience kiya hai socially, that when people meet you, the second question is, so what do you do? And if you don't work anywhere, if you don't have a company, तो फटाफट एक क्रॉस आ जाता है उस बंदे के ऊपर. ये मैंने खुद एक्सपीरियंस किया हुआ है. So to fit in, this is not the criterion. Who am I? That will be established by you. Be patient with yourself. Love yourself. And Azra, you so rightly said, you come first. I come first. If you don't come first, then nobody in your family is going to win. Because the one who's supposed to come first is last. Azra's so right. You come first. It's all about you. It begins with you. I attended a training session a few years ago, and that was the first time I was introduced to the word no. And the title of the training ran, The Power of No. And believe me, for me, that was news. Because is culture mein pleasers paida karta hai. Ye society people pleaser paida karta hai, especially women. We are mentally trained to please saas, susar, miya, nan, blah, blah, etc. So the power of no, Azra ne jo baat ki hai, no to others and yes to self. Choose yourself over everything and everyone, and that's where you begin. That's my message for Women's Day.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Faryal. Samrah, what would you like to say?
I would like to say कि जो हम ख़वातीन हैं, we need to support each other. When you talk to other women, आज भी, Women's Day celebrations, and there was a guest speaker, and when I connected with her, all of us has those amazing stories. We all have gone through some challenges, and हमने अपने आप को भी सरप्राइज किया है उन challenges से निकल के. Sometimes when you look back, आपको यकीन नहीं आता कि आप इतने difficult period से आपने अपने आप को निकाला. And when you tell each other these stories, they give you that strength, that give you that energy, that inspire you. So I would say that keep supporting each other, keep inspiring each other. I have one of the biggest supporters of mine are women around me, and they've given me strength. They've given me emotional support when I was in need, when I was going through some terrible times, challenges at work or in my personal life. I've learned from their experiences and what they have done, their achievements, the great things that they have done. And we have a lot of such examples around us. So keep on talking to each other, keep on giving the support, keep on sharing your stories and keep on listening to their stories, and let it feed your energy, let it feed your passion. So that's our message. Keep on supporting each other, girls. More power to us.
True word. Azra, what would you like to say?
So my strongest message, of course, is to a lot of younger women who are now striving to go there and take up the challenge. Right? हमारे ज़माने में mentoring available नहीं थी और female mentors तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं मिलते थे. I struggled with finding female mentors even for a group of World Bank funded project Khawateen entrepreneurs that I was working with. But now we are there. We grew up with this void of not having a woman mentor, right? It's great to have a male mentor. I don't have anything against it. But find a woman mentor and find women mentees. Go ahead and look for them. Mentors अब बहुत मिल जाते हैं, mentees नहीं मिलती हैं. Look for mentees and please try to tell them that yes, it's good to be competitive. It's great to do what you're doing, but also take a pause and learn to slow down a little. Life is not about cutthroat competition all the time. आप अपने आप को वो कहते हैं ना जैसे पी के हम वेस्ट हो जाते थे, आप बगैर पिए वेस्ट हो जाओगे. Take it slow, take it one step at a time. It's a competitive world out there and they won't change, but uske beech mein you will lose out on your health, your energy, your mental peace. You don't want that to happen. Take a step back. Number 2, learn to say a no. There are polite ways to do it and there are harsh ways to do it, and we know where to place people. तो किसी को जरा बदतमीजी से बोलना पड़ेगा, किसी को तमीज से बोलना पड़ेगा. ठीक है, हम हमेशा 80-20 के प्रिंसिपल पे काम करते हैं. 80% of your happiness comes from 20% of people in your life. तो आप बाकियों को प्लीज आप कॉम्प्रोमाइज कर दें. It doesn't matter. ठीक है, you have to be rude, you have to be selfish, do it. And thirdly, invest in yourself, invest in happiness, invest in experiences. Okay, travel करें, books पढ़ें, movies देखें. Please, कपड़े वपड़े जूते वूते हैंडबैग्स अच्छे होते हैं, they're great. Find friends, find family को आपको लाके दे देगा. ठीक है, but invest in experiences, invest in happiness. That's my message to everybody here.
Beautiful, you guys. Such a wonderful panel today. कुछ कह रही हैं Azra आप?
मैं कह रही हूँ, that is my message, especially to the younger women today.
Goes both ways. Thank you, Azra, Faryal and Samrah, for your wonderful, wonderful insights today. And a big thank you to our online community. उन्होंने भी बहुत active participation की है. I'm glad that we did this. Your stories, questions, tips, they've kind of enriched our discussion immensely. As more women successfully return to work and soar in their own careers, they become role models and sources of inspiration for future generations. Imagine young girls, जैसे Azra ने कहा, and aspiring professionals, वो look up करें इस तरह की खवातीन को, realize करें कि family और career भी balance हो सकता है. We need to bust the myth, and it's not an either or choice वाला हिसाब. To audience, I'd say please share your feedback with us. Write to us, tell us how we're doing. I'm going to close now. Let's all take a step towards creating more inclusive workplaces, not just today, but every day. Happy International Women's Day, and remember to keep holding that thought and pushing for change. Until next time, stay curious and connected. Allah Hafiz.
तन्हा ऐसे क्यों बेचैन फिरे जागेंगे जरूर ये भाग तेरे कोई जानना ये जोश तेरा कोई जानना जुनून तेरा घूमता ना ताना ना 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 घूमता ना ताना ना घूमता ना ताना ना 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 घूमता ना ta na na